Well, hello, and welcome to Saturday evening at 5 o'clock. This is Firefly's Family Game Night Live streaming with Emily from Firefly Toys and Games. So tonight, we're going to talk about some storytelling games from several different companies. We have Smart Games, several of those. We have Pegasus Spiel. We have Smirk and Laughter, which is a spin-off of Smirk and Dagger. And we also have... and I just lost the company, sorry. Game Right with the Rory Story Cubes. So we have many others I'm going to show you at the end. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you are looking to purchase the game or you have questions about that, please look at the links below in this post and we'd be more than happy to answer those questions. So let's get started gaming. Can't wait to see you guys. All right, first off, we're going to start with one of the Smart Games. This one is called Snow White. And as you can see, I kind of tucked the storybook behind. It's so cute. We have several of these. I'll show you at the end. So Snow White, of course, it's Smart Games' version of Snow White. It comes with a picture book. So, of course, the kids of all ages will enjoy this. And either the kids or the parents can kind of make up the story as they go. It is so cute. I love the graphics in it. Kind of makes it really fun. You can do it before or after the game or just right before bedtime or whatever. It's just so much fun. So I love that they included the book in this. So let's get started with the way you play the game. Snow White, of course, we had the little cottage that she went and found, and we had the 7 dwarves were located in the cottage when she was running away from the queen. So we're going to try to show you how to place the dwarves and Snow White and the evil queen in the castle, or not in the castle, in the cabin, with our little picture booklet. So, and I have it only viewing one side because the other side is the solution on the back of this page, so I don't want to ruin another solution for another story starter for you. By the way, let me get to the front of the book. This is a double-sided book. So one way we're looking at the interior of the cabin, and I'm going to turn it around and show you how to do the exterior challenge. It's so much fun. I had a blast doing it. Oops, there's a solution. All right. So starter number 6, of course, is really easy. It's in the green, like all the Smart Games go. Green starts the beginner version. Yellow is going to be your junior, more getting closer to the intermediate, which is going to be the master level is red, and then your expert level is purple. So just to give you an idea of how Smart Games works. So right now we have the solution, or the challenge already set up for us. We have to come up with a solution, and I have Pretty Little Snow White, and I also have a set of blue dwarves, and I need to find room for them in the cabin. Now the deal is, for every pair that are connected to the dwarves, they both have to be seen inside of a window, which means they can't fit through the door because there's only one location for them to sit in the door. So this one was really easy. You can see we only have 3 spaces remaining we need to fill in, so quite obviously we're going to have the set of twin dwarves here, and Little Miss Snow White's going to rest right here. Let's see if we're correct. What we're going to do is we're going to flip it over and look at our solution. We have the blue dwarves on the top left, the red dwarves on the top right. We do have our purple dwarf next to Snow White. He just loves her so much. The little orange dwarf in front of the door, and then the evil queen has made her way inside with our little green dwarf. We're going to have to talk to him. He's going to be in timeout next time. All right, so let me show you the other side really quickly. Now, the other side is going to set it up where we have, and I'm going to start really easy. We're going to have the outside of the house view. So let's go and take all the dwarves and Miss Snow White, oh no, out of the cabin. There we go. I say cabin. I guess it's a cottage. It's supposed to be a cottage. All right, now we're going to leave all the doors closed until we discover which ones need to be opened. We're going to start on the top row and then work our way to the bottom. So looking at the challenge booklet, the left side of this first window needs to be open. So we'll open one side. Both of the windows in the other blue section can be opened. On the bottom, we have the right orange window open, which also works on colors, those of you who have small children. You have the green door is actually open, and the left green window is open. All right, so that is the way that our challenge book is set up for the windows. Now we need to put the purple dwarf in the open window in the top corner. You see him in there? All right, and then we're going to take the orange dwarf and put him in his spot with the smiley face facing forward. And the evil queen, now it's the orange guy. So we're going to have to talk with Mr. Orange Dwarf and tell him not to let those strangers in because she can be mean. All right, and on the bottom, now we do see that there is a blue dwarf in the orange window. We can't break them apart. They're going to always be together. So that means that we have to have both of the blue dwarves behind the orange window. So we're going to slide him in. There we go. And you can see, he's going to be seen if we open the window. In the door, we have the green dwarf. There we go. And then in the window, same problem again. We're going to have the double dwarf, so he's going to have to both be located inside the green window. Now, where does Miss Snow White reside? Well, given the fact that we know that both the red and the blue are the twins, the only option left is for her to be behind the window next to the purple dwarf. Let's see if she will fit and open everything up. Everybody fits in the window, but let's see if we're correct on our solution. We have a purple dwarf in Snow White. We have an orange dwarf next to the evil queen. We have our double blue dwarfs in the window. We have our green dwarf in the door and our double red in the green window. So good job, guys. So that is how you play Snow White, both versions, indoor and outdoor. And of course, the challenge is going to be a little more difficult as you continue moving forward in the storybook. Again, I love the fact you have the storybook. You can even stop between the challenges and kind of talk to the kids about how the story actually went in the movie. So we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to visit one of Game Right's games called Rory's Story Cubes, R-O-R-Y, Rory's Story Cubes. And this one is a really cool dice rolling game. So I kind of already have a prompt set up. Now, this is a really cool demo mat we were able to receive, so I'm very happy with that. But you do have a little booklet that comes with your Rory Story Cubes when you buy them, and it tells you kind of how that the story goes. But this kind of gives you an example. So what you do first is you roll all the cubes, which I've already done. You get to pick one of the cubes and start the story. And then once you start the story, someone else can pick it up and go from there. Now, it's just me right now, so I'm going to go in and give you the story that I started. And then later, if you all want to, you see the images that are before us, you all can add to the story in the comments, which would be awesome. So just to let you know, we do have a time, maybe a time clock. We do have a flashlight. Looks like we have a parachute. Guys coming off the parachute there. We have a bee. We have a magnet. And it looks like an alien. Ooh. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go in and give you an example. So over here, I have picked the prompt Once Upon a Time. So it has to start with one of the prompts. Once upon a time, it was a dark and stormy night a long time ago. Or you can make up your own. Once upon a time, there lived a sweet, sweet, sweet sea turtle. But our sea turtle was very sad because he lived in the Pacific Ocean, away from the pyramids that lived in Egypt. Now you can continue the story, and I can say, at some point in the future, indicating with the time on the clock, he would love to parachute. Thank you, Sheila. So, you can continue the story after there. Those are the other dice available. It is so much fun. I've had some kids play this game in the past, and they had a blast. Kids are amazing. They're creative. I have this much of a creative mind for storytelling, and had a chance to show some kids earlier this week how to play a couple of games, and they just took it and ran with it. It was awesome. Speaking of, I'm going to show you the story I actually showed them. And this is called Before There Were Stars. And this game is by Smirk and Laughter off of the Smirk and Dagger Company. And that's a family-friendly version, basically. All of their games are great to play. But I'm going to show you Before There Were Stars set up. And for my mother's birthday, her birthday is today, I am normally the purple player or the blue if I had the option, but I'm going to choose the red player today because that's her favorite color. So in Before There Were Stars, everyone receives a prompt. You have two different sides to your story prompt. You have a myth side. It gives you specific chapter starters, and I'll explain that in a second. And on the back side, you can choose the legend side, and it gives a different set of story starters. This is the legend of, and you fill in the blanks. Once there was a problem, and so on and so forth. I like the myth side to get everybody started in the game, and then once I kind of know how to play the game, the legend is really fun to play. But we're going to start with myth. So you have a cute little baggie here. This is going to be your point collection bag, and so what you do is you're going to gain different story starters. So we have constellations that are up in the sky over here, and we get to take some of those constellations and make a story out of them. And depending on how well we create our story depends on how many points we get awarded by our peers playing. So that's why I have these beautiful stars that are sitting over here. Ooh, ah, blue and yellow and orange. They're so pretty. All right, so whenever you create a story, you get to choose for your opponents, and your opponents get to choose for you whether you deserve 2, 3, or 4 points for how you created your story. At the end of the game, we don't look at the stars, but at the end of the game, then everybody counts up their points that they had in their bag, and whoever has the most points wins. Now, we have 4 rounds. We have 4 different chapters, and each chapter you get to select more constellations and continue snowballing your story. It's amazing. So to start with, I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice and show you how a turn goes. So for our first chapter, we have to select 2 of the constellations and have the story starter in the beginning. All right, let's see what we got. We're going to roll the dice. Depending on what we get depends on what we are able to claim. So it looks like I have 1, 2, 3 threes, 1, 2, 3 fours, 2 5s, and my goodness, I can't roll 6s for nothing, but today I rolled 4 6s. All right. It looks like I can definitely claim the bed. It's a 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. So that one is for sure. I'm going to go and take it off because I can't claim anything else right now. So I for sure have to have something with the bed. All right, and there's the twins. I don't have any 1s. And I don't have any 2s, and everything else requires 1s and 2s. Let's pick one off the top and see if it gives me another option. Nope. Let's find one that actually matches my die roll here. Here we go. Poison. Oh, what a mixture. The bed and poison. So I would discard. Oh, I don't have a 2. Just kidding. All right. Let's find a card. 1 and 4, the mouth. That's a weird combination. All right, there we go. So you need to claim 2 constellations in order to start your story, and everybody would create constellation or grab constellation, so everyone gets a chance to roll. And then you craft your story. So it must start with in the beginning, and I have to use mouth and bed. In the beginning, which is how my story starts. In the beginning, there was a Papa Bear-sized bed lurking in the deep, dark cottage. Along came a frog with a big old mouth, and he was so tired that he crawled through the deep, dark cottage to get to the very large bed. So that's how my story started. And then the next turn, we would have new constellations come out, and we would do the same thing all over again. We would re-roll the dice, claim some more constellations, and continue going. Now, on the second chapter, we have to have, at the dawn of civilization, 2 new constellations, and we must use one of our first words that we used. So, let's see if I have a little bit better luck claiming the constellations this time. All right, let's see. I have a 1, 2 3s, 2 4s, 4 5s, and 3 6s. All right. Looks like all of those require 2s. Oh, here we go. Here's a 1, 3, and 5. And here's a 3, 5, 6. So I can claim these two. And these two, the judge and the grave. Ooh, interesting. All right, so here we go. At the dawn of civilization, the strong judge walked through the graveyard to find the poor frog with the big mouth was weeping over his lost lily pad. Now that was really, really crazy. But that's an idea of how the story goes. And then it continues on. You would have chapter 3. He was so sad. A great hero emerges. So you would want to turn the story around and make it positive. But the eagle swept in and provided him a blizzard that brought him a friend, the polar bear. Now, I know frogs and polar bears do not exactly live together, but, you know, it's a story. And then, of course, you had to use at least 2 of the previous words. And then at the end of days, you get to finalize your story using 2 new story cards again, and then have 3 of any of the previous words that you've used. So by the time that you get done playing this game, you've got a lot of story cards, and you can have so much fun with the story. All right. Moving on to our last game, I wanted to show you guys. I had the chance to play this the other day, and I had so much fun. I wanted to share it with you all. So Pegasus Spiel came out with, I don't want to necessarily say an escape room game, but it's a very similar concept. It's a story game. And so what happens is you are traveling back in time, and there's someone who has passed away, and you're trying to keep them from dying. You're trying to change decisions that they've made so that they might have a chance at survival for whatever the problem had arose. So in this game, I'm not going to show you too awful much of it because I don't want to ruin anything if you want to actually play the game. But this game is called Undo, and it's actually quite massive. I'll have to back up and show you. It's a lot of cards in the game, but it is so much fun. So I'm going to set it down and give you a brief example. This is one of the ones that you're going to always start with. So in the game, you've got a couple of prompts, and it walks you through. There's not a rule book to read. You've got story cards that you read, and it tells you how to set it up and what to do, and basically you take your first turn off of these rule sets. So you start with story card number 12, which of course has a yellow color to the background, so it kind of gives you an indication of where to start. The circumstances of death high above the Yucatan jungle on February 29th, 1952 at 3:37 p.m. Now, before I get started, I want to let you guys know, each and every story, we got 5 of the stories, and there's another one coming out in August. I'm so excited. Each of them are different. And what you're doing is you get to see all of the different time periods that this person lived, some major events in their life, and you get to go back and kind of rediscover them and some of the decisions that they made. So we're going to go ahead and turn over Circumstances of Death. Now, this is simply a prompt that you read. Now, I will tell you, there is a bold-faced word or 2 words in each of these story cards that are laying out, numbered 1 to 13. If you want to find out more before you make a decision, like, I'm not going to reveal too awful much, but I'm going to show you. Nope, not that one. Let's do that one. All right. So you're going to have 3 different decisions off of the majority of the cards that are laying out here. So reading the prompt, which I'm not going to show you, you ensure that she does A, B, or C. Whatever you decide, you and your team decide to choose, then you go and find that fake card, and depending on the point value on it depends on whether you helped her or whether, you did not. If you'd like to have more information to see whether it's a good thing or not, you can look at the bold-faced card, find the word related to the story card that you're on, and then discard an an investigation card, which is this card right here. You only have 4 through the game, so you need to be wise in your decision making. So let's say we want to learn more about the shiny object. So we've read about the circumstances, and we want to see what's so important about the shiny object that she would risk her entire life and career on. So you would flip it over, and it would give you a detailed description of something about that object. Now, again, I'm not going to show you too much of this game because I really think that you all should at least try one of these story cards. They're so much fun. But let's say that we go back to number 11 or number 10 that we put out a second ago. If you decided to do A, B, or C, you would look through the stack of fate cards. So we use 9, 10, here's 10. So we have 10, A, B, and C. Now, most escape room games, once you play them, you're pretty well done, at least for a while, unless you pull it out with another group of friends or you totally forget the solution. I like Unlock because it doesn't tear up cards, but the exit games are also really fun because they have some thrilling adventures in them. This game has some great replayability because let's just say randomly you decided to go with 10C. You would flip it over and you would look at the back, and it will give you 10C, and it's going to give you a number. And I'm going to pull out a random card to show you what it could possibly look like. Let's do this one. All right, now, you don't know what card this goes to, but this is a 0. 0 means you chose the exact same path that she did. If it would have a positive, it means you changed it for the better. And if it had a negative, it means you made it worse. So the good news is when you choose one of these cards, you would be able to put these into the box not knowing what the other options are. So at the end of the game, you would look at the solution. End of the story, blah, 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 blah. You use all your time cards. Now you have less than 0, 0 to 4, 5 to 7, 8 to 9, 10 to 11, or 12 or more. Now, depending on how many points you were able to acquire, depends on whether you were able to prevent her tragic death or made it that much quicker or just completely miserable on her. So I love the game. You can go back and play it again. I'm so excited to try out some of the others, and I can't wait for the 600 seconds to come out in August. But that just kind of gives you an idea of some other storytelling cards. All of the story is throughout 13 cards. So you've got lots of playroom. You're not going to go through all 13. You can only go through 9 of them based on the investigation cards, or the time cards that you have, So it's really, really fun. So let me show you just a couple more games that you might be interested in for maybe a later time with your family that kind of involve storytelling of some sort. So just to show you some of the smart games, we already looked at Snow White. But we do have the 3 Little Piggies, which is so, so cute. The little rubber piggies and a rubber wolf. You have you have Snow White has 2 different versions, inside and outside, and 3 Little Piggies has 2 different versions as well. One is with the 3 Little Piggies without the wolf, and you're trying to put them on the board around the houses. And the opposite side is the wolf on the board, and you need to place the houses over top of the piggies. There's a little hole under the house, and you can hide them. It is so, so cute. We also have Sleeping Beauty. You need to put the big bad dragon and Maleficent somewhere in the maze so that the prince cannot reach sweet, sweet Aurora in the castle. So you need to have the children find the princess, having the prince go through the maze to see the path, and then place Maleficent in a path that she would block, and that's what the solution is. Little Red Riding Hood also has 2 different sides. You've got a wolf and non-wolf. Let me move Once Upon a Time real quick. So you've got a pathway. You're trying to get to grandmother's house, and you need to try to not have the wolf on the same path as Little Red Riding Hood, so they need to be completely separate. A couple of other games just to highlight for you. We do have Once Upon a Time, which is a great storytelling game. You're going to have everybody's got different cards. You have different events. It's so, so much fun. And you get to lay down a card like I'm going to lay the princess down. And I'm going to say, once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess who lived in the forest. And if you have an interrupt card or if you have an event card that would change something, you can slap it down at any point that I'm talking, and you can finish and go. So once upon a time, there was a princess who lived in the forest. And then all of a sudden, the alligator came out of the swamp. Or whatever you want to put based on the words that you have in your hand. So it's really, really fun. We do have some expansions to kind of change the game. We have different story cards that you'll be able to add to different event cards. I was talking about the undo games. So let me find the one. The Treasure Fever is the one that I was showing you out here. But we do have 4 other versions from Pegasus Spiel. They all take place in different time frame and different places. And they have different people in it. So it kind of makes it very interesting to go back and play all of those. We do have some other storytelling games. So we have Win Our Dream for those of you who are adults. This one is so much fun. You get to actually go to sleep. So the person who's doing it is blindfolded, or if you want to, just simply close your eyes. And you would have a picture card revealed, but you can't see it. You have everybody else around the table is trying to describe in one word about it. Orange, stripes, forest, meat, and it would like trying to get you to guess. Oh, it's a tiger. So as soon as you say a word, whether it's right or not, we would flip the next card and continue describing the next card. When the time is up, the person who was dreaming has a chance to retell their dream in a story using the words that they feel like was correct based on the descriptions you were saying. And then you get points awarded for being right. And then there are some people in the mix who don't want you to get it right. So they're going to tell you the wrong thing. So instead of saying orange, the next person might say blue. Just because. So the person dreaming has to figure out who's on their side and who's not on their side. A couple more. So the Rory story cubes that I showed you, there are several different versions. I didn't pull all of them out. We do have Scooby-Doo, Doctor Who, there's Looney Tunes, Merman, Batman. So cool. So several other versions. We also have, right here, we have like Score and Clues, Medic, Enchanted. We have Prehistoria, it's got dinosaurs in it. So much fun. So you can actually create your own story based on themes, based on characters. It's really fun. We also have Voyages and Actions, so you can combine them together and make like one fantastic story all over the place. We do have the Toy Story version of Telltale, the storytelling game. You can kind of create your own story with the Pixar characters. And then just one more real quick to highlight, we do have the One Night Ultimates. We do have Werewolf and Supervillains. I had the chance to play Supervillains and Werewolf both. They are amazing. So, just to give you a brief description, we do have some of the story cards on the back. So everyone gets a hidden roll, and you can look at it. No one else can until they might wake up in the middle of the night. So, everybody goes to sleep. There is a free app you can download, and it actually tells the story for you. And then it tells you retrievers wake up. And so as soon as the retrievers wake up, they can do their action that they're allowed to do. And then at the end, when everyone's done their action, everybody wakes up, and you're trying to accuse whoever is the villain or whoever is the werewolf and try to see if everybody can guess within a certain amount of time. It is so much fun. We have so many more storytelling games that I just had not had the chance to pull or the space on the table in order to pull them to show you guys. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you for joining me tonight. I miss all you Firefly friends and families. I love you guys, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.